I was one of the first people in the cell and one of the last people out of the cell. There's actually an interest in war. I have to say, the students are going to keep going. Israel is engaged in this genocidal project. The trespassing charge was pressed upon us, and I have a pink slip, what they call a pink slip, to arrive in the court on Friday, on the 10th of May. I basically am involved as a supporter of the student. Out in this plaza that I described earlier, in front of the Stern School, at about 4:30 in the morning. The tents were up then, and then just the cops came, and then we lined up in the route that was available to the cops, which is in the back of the plaza. We lined up between the cops and the students with the idea, it turned out to be a very false idea, that they would actually care that we were faculty, and actually have some conversation. But no, as far as what they were concerned, we were just a bunch of goons in the place, and they just came and grabbed us and took us away. I'm in the police van, and with zip ties in my back, hands behind my back, and they were very tight and very uncomfortable, and my fingers were going numb. And so then we went to the police station. I was in the police station until we went down there probably around 8:30. I was in a cell with a bunch of other people, and I was one of the first people in the cell and one of the last people out of the cell. The police then arrested us and just declared that we had been trespassing. The demands are concerning the way the university is dealing with the situation in Palestine. That's one of their chants. We won't stop, we won't rest, disclose and divest. The American police forces in every city around the country have been highly militarized. I mean, the New York police force has tanks. They have riot gear all over the place. They have huge amounts of weaponry. They're trained as though they were confronting a kind of a battle zone. And 70s was really, it wasn't against American militarism, it wasn't in support of the Vietnamese Communist Party, except for people like me, who were vilified actually for this. It is much more than it was in the 1960s, in the 1970s, which is 50 years ago now. In those days, America was a black and a white place, so that the demos and the whole anti-war movement was based on a kind of a combination of objections to the draft, which was very class discriminatory, with a highly disproportionate population of black people and poor black people who were also highly and much more likely to die in Vietnam. There's actually an interest in war. The American economy actually, shall we say, wants wars to happen because it's extremely a profitable business. This is something that our students understand, and they also understand that the universities are invested in the companies that are facilitating genocide in Palestine. And so what they're disclose basically means they want the universities to disclose the nature of the investments that they have in these, in all of the companies that are related in any way to this operation. Anyway, so that's one thing. Disclose and divest. from companies that are facilitating genocide in Palestine. Every time the government of Israel uses one of those missiles, a new one comes. The Americans are constantly supplying this kind of.